In realms long forgotten, there are tales of the Forest Kingdom, a place of honour and chivalry, known to some as the Land of the Purple Dragon, but known to all as Cormyr.
Hi, I'm Tilda, and I'm playing Hiram, a half-orc paladin.
Hi, my name's Carl. I'm playing Catcher Donahue, human bard.
Hi, I'm Julia, and I'm playing Badger, a forest gnome monk.
Hi, my name is Anton, and I play Balthazar, a Warforged Cloak of Azuth.
Hi, my name is Al, and I'm playing Slate, a changeling druid.
Hi, I'm Matt, and I'm playing Zombo, who is a halfling rogue/warlock.
And my name is Dan. I shall be the dungeon master on this adventure. Hello, everybody. Hello.
Hiya.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you all doing?
Doing
Good.
pretty good, thanks. Pretty good.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yes, you all made it. So, just as a quick heads up, Carl and Tilda are beaming in all the way from sunny Hungary, and Elle will be joining us a little bit later. But last time, from what I remember of last session, you guys, totes cash, stole a boat. So shall we see how this thing handles?
Yeah.
Please,
Yeah.
indeed.
Marvelous.
Singing to sea
Marvelous.
shadows.
Yes.
Actually, Catch can do that.
She will definitely teach you a few.
Zombo Marrowfat. The legends speak of a dread pirate captain with humble beginnings as a blue dragon cook, roaming the Dragonmere in search of the finest culinary plunder Cormyr has to offer. Having led a mutiny, bested his blue dragon captain in mortal combat, and stealing his ship, Zombo would sail into infamy aboard the renamed Bobbing Apple. The skull and ham bones his flag to strike fear into the hearts of Cormyrians. Tragically, his reign of tyranny would come to an end when he single-handedly defeated a great sea beast, but not before being lost to the waves. The tale of Zombo Marrowfat would pass on into myth, stories of a boogeyman whispered between scared sea merchants across Cormyr's many docks and ports. Of course, Katya will have to filter truth from hyperbole contained within Zombo's journal. Time all the Warhounds have as they sail across the Dragonmere towards the site of Renner's latest vision. And so, we find the Warhounds on the recently renamed Bobbing Apple, with the buildings of the coast of Marsemba disappearing off into the distance behind you as you sail out onto the Dragonmere. Zombo, you feel the familiar wind running across your face, the smell of the sea, and the feel of the navigator's wheel in one hand. Although you're having to hold the bottom half because it's a human-sized wheel. Stood next to you is Katya and a huffing drawl, and the rest of your crew, Badger, Slate, Balthazar, and Hiram, are arrayed before you, each kind of looking at the various parts of the ship. Also of interest, between you and the main mast, you see there is a stalwart figure in the shape of Raedra Oberskier, who has unexpectedly joined you on this leg of the adventure. Stood next to her is a moon elf woman which you all know to be Renna, who is currently kind of nervously smiling and every so often trying to say something to Raedra, receiving kind of curt responses in return. But as the clouds roll above you, roll over you, and the waters part before you, Zumbo, what do you do?
Probably just probably turn to Katya and say, fancy having a go at this, lass?
I'd love to, yes.
Yeah, come over here and I'll put your hands here and here. Yeah, that's it. Not too firm. You want to give them a bit of give.
10 and 2.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you?
I can't actually reach 2. Yeah, I'll point at it.
It's pulling. It's pulling. What do I do?
Yeah. Just hold it steady. You're okay.
So Zumbo, as you kind of let go of the navigator's wheel, you take a moment to look at the ship, and you acknowledge that this ship is quite new. It's only at most, a couple of months old. It handles beautifully. You notice that there are strange kind of square cuts out the sail that seem to have been replaced with new fabrics. You're not quite sure what the story behind that is, but the ship is also fast. Being a small kind of corvette-like vessel, you're bombing it across the water with a good wind powering it from behind.
Who was it who saw... Sorry, go on.
Have I earned my eye patch?
You're getting there. You show promise.
Sorry, go on, Zumbo.
I'm just wondering out of character who it was that actually saw exactly where we're going, if that makes sense. Was it Balthazar, was it?
Yes, yeah. So you all know that it's somewhere in the sea. But yeah, so Zumbo, as you look across, you can see Balthazar stood near the prow of the ship, just kind of looking out and looking up. Balthazar, it's kind of hard to tell roughly where there's no kind of stars to guide yourself with because the sky is quite lovely today. But you know roughly the kind of compass point direction that you need to be heading in. Sure. So by you've put the sun in the correct position and you're sailing to that kind of general area.
Gotcha.
Okay, so Zumbo, yes, you see Balthazar stood near the prow. Balthazar, what do you do? Slate stood next to you, just kind of. Well, Slate's nearby, hands on the edge of the ship, hair, wind blowing in their hair.
I think Balthazar is navigating, so he will have a compass, he will have a map, and he's trying to measure which speed they're going, how many knots, which I think might involve throwing a rope with a bucket. He's going to ask Zumbo about it. Do I throw the rope with the bucket and then we wait seconds? Is that how it works, Zumbo?
Is that how it works, Dan?
I believe it's like you knot it, and it's how quickly the knots are pulled away from you is how many knots you're going. Knots.
Maybe we should just swap characters, Anton. I feel like you.
I think you get like 50 meters or 100 meters of rope, and it's how fast that rope.
That sounds good. Yeah, somebody's going to nod knowledgeably about that.
So as that happens, Hiram, Badger, you can see Balthazar, who appears to be. It looks like he's fishing with a bucket over the edge of the ship. But what are the two of you doing?
I think Hiram is just enjoying the view.
Yeah. It is surprisingly serene out here. You've been traveling for long enough that now all you can really see in any direction is azure, like a carpet of sapphires in all directions, as the quite lush blue sea reflects the daylight. And what about you, Badger?
I'm not sure Badger's ever been on the sea before, so I think she's pretty stoked right now. She's just like running from side to side. She's doing flips. She's looking over the side because she's heard that dolphins are meant to follow ships, so she's looking for them. And then if she doesn't see them, she's like runs to the front and she's like doing acrobatics on the prow at the front or whatever it's called. And yeah, she's just having a great time.
I think we've
It's like a
100%
kid.
got Badger up in the rigging.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Doing all
She's
that.
all over the place.
Yeah.
But also, important question: does she see dolphins?
Does she see dolphins?
Roll for dolphins.
Roll for dolphins. You
Animal handling.
you
Perception?
yeah. You know what? Roll me a quick perception.
Just a quick one. It's a 24.
What is the DC? Oh, for dolphins, Dan.
So as you're kind of looking around, you don't you're looking. You don't see any dolphins, but you do see a shape under the water that gets larger and larger, and what appears to this huge, wet form emerges, and you realise that it's a star whale, and as it emerges from the water and gives off a splashes back into the water and then kind of disappears down into the depths again.
Imagine,
Zumbo, did you see?
Zumbo's leaning over the side, shouting at the whale to keep its bloody distance.
I imagine from like the whale catcher gives lets of a whoop as if she sees it as well, like. Voice went in.
So, Badger, as it disappears under the waves, you know that there is a downstairs, so you might be able to, because you can hear it's making some sort of noise under the water. It makes you wonder, perhaps if you were to go into the bow of the ship, you might hear it a bit closer. Hit there.
Let's go, baby.
Okay. So yes, there's two small kind of stairways. One that leads up to the poop deck, where Zumbo and Katya are, and there's another on the other side of the ship, which leads down. Hang on, the DM's going to quickly remind
you
himself.
should look up your port starboards and your
Yeah. So on the
mid-deck.
on the starboard side, there's a staircase going down.
Cool.
Yes, as you head downstairs,
What's that, Dan?
yes.
We're on the forecastle. The poop deck is where everyone else is.
Oh, okay.
That's
Badger,
half castle.
Badger, as you head downstairs, you can see that there are you find yourselves in the bow of the ship. There are a number of doors, and you can see kind of the main mast going from the ceiling down to the floor. There's a number of barrels and crates and the like. It's surprisingly tidy down here.
Cool. I don't care about the tidiness or otherwise of the ship. I want to hear the whale.
Okay. As you drop to the floor and put your ear against the planks of the wood, and then just kind of the reverberations through the water. It feels like the whale song is vibrating the ship ever so slightly. So it's just like having a glass up against a wall. And this whale just seems to be kind of cooing to itself.
Now, given that as a gnome, I can kind of understand small animals, is there any chance I get the gist of what the whale is saying?
It sounds like a happy song.
That's nice.
So, Badger, whilst you're downstairs in the main hull of the ship, Zumbo. Yeah, what do you do?
Yeah, Zumbo look back at Katya, having given her little sort of steering a boat 101, and say, "Hey, Katya, do you reckon you can manage her for a bit? I'm just gonna pop below."
Where are you going? What you?
That's good. You'll do fine. Yeah.
Zumbo.
And Zumbo's just gonna clap Katya on the back and then potter off downstairs as well.
Okay. As you go, the stern-looking red-haired woman just kind of gives you an ever so slight nod as you pass, and the pale moon elf just kind of waves at you with a couple of fingers. And this moon elf's just kind of looking around in wonderment. As you head downstairs, you find Badger sprawled out on the floor with her head on the planks, potentially every so often just kind of making an noise to herself.
Having fun there?
Yes. Come down here and listen. You can hear the whale.
He'll sort of stomp over and then, with great difficulty, kind of try and lie down next to her.
Do you hear it?
Yeah, I reckon so.
Yeah. I think she's happy. Maybe because there's something else in the sea as big as she is right now. Or, well, almost.
Weird how happy and hungry sound pretty similar, right?
I don't think whales eat ships.
Yeah.
Or halflings. I don't think you need to worry.
Okay, I'll take your word for it. Badger, actually, I got something for you.
Really? And she sort of sits up.
Yeah, wait here a minute. And he'll... I guess, which one is the captain's cabin, Dan? Which one would I have claimed earlier?
Looking around, you know that this door here is the captain's cabin.
It's the one with the nice bed.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll head in there.
Okay.
So
you enter into a relatively small, quaint cabin. Space is a bit of a premium on this ship, but you do see a full bed, a kind of navigator's desk with a stool at the far end, and a lockbox that you haven't taken the opportunity to try and unlock yet.
yeah, I'll make myself a mental note to have a crack at that later.
Mm-hmm.
But am I right in thinking there's a vase of flowers on the table?
There is.
Okay. So Badger can probably hear sort of the sound of like hurried action as Zumbo's like pulling these, messing around with something in his cabin. Probably the sound of breaking pottery, and then he'll emerge holding a slightly battered bunch of flowers. It looks like it was probably a bit bigger a minute ago, but he's like plucked out some of the ones, and so some of them look a bit sad. But he's just kind of standing there a bit bashfully with these bright pink flowers.
Hey.
Yeah, a bit of a tradition, really. Captain's supposed to give his bosun some flowers on new ship, for good luck.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh. Excellent. Well, as your bosun, I happily accept these lovely flowers. Thank you, Zumbo. I mean,
You're welcome.
Captain.
Yeah, they'll probably look nicer in your cabin anyway. Here you go.
Thank you. And she takes them and gives them a sniff.
They're relatively fresh.
Ah.
Surprisingly so.
Excellent.
It makes you wonder, like, fresh enough that fresh enough that it makes you want. These were probably kind of replaced relatively recently while the ship was in dock.
Beautiful. I shall put them in my cabin. Which is Badger's cabin?
You choose.
See. She's gonna go. I think she wants to go starboard because of the star whale. So she's gonna go for this one down here.
Okay.
Puts it in her little cabin.
And you now have...
She just kind of scatters them in her hammock, I guess, because she hasn't got a vase to put them in.
Okay, yeah.
Sort of nestles them there for later. I don't know.
Okay, so as you you distribute Zombo's flowers across your hammock, and as you emerge, Zombo, as Badger emerges from a room, what do you do?
I guess he's just standing there a bit awkwardly, not really kind of knowing what to do with himself. He'll just kind of go, yeah, just my way of saying thanks, I guess, for being my bosun and helping us get where we are. You've been amazing.
Oh, I think we're shaping up into a pretty great team.
Yeah, I reckon so too. Yeah. All right, as you were.
Is Badger getting a vibe of anything off Zumbo right now? Like, what's happening here? Can I insight him, or?
If you would like to insight him, by all
I think
means.
she probably would, because there's some vibe coming off him right now.
Whoa.
I rolled a 7.
Aha.
Not great.
It depends. I guess. Like, is Zumbo being forthright with his intentions, or is he being a bit too bashful for his own good?
I think, yeah, Badger would probably notice he's not his usual sort of swaggering self, and seems a bit awkward, and yeah, definitely not got his usual brash confidence.
Zumbo, is everything all right?
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah. Why wouldn't it be? But
Well, yeah, you're right. I mean, things are going pretty well. We're on track and we're working well together, but you seem a little not yourself.
guess just been a while since been out on the waves. Just jitters, I suppose. It'll pass.
It will. It'll be fine. We're all here with you. It's not going to be like it was before on the previous bobbing apple. You can rely on us. Really. I promise.
I know, Badger. I know. Thanks for saying it, though.
That's all right. Shall we get back upstairs?
Yeah. The others will probably be in all sorts of trouble by now.
So, as you say that, upstairs on the deck, Balthazar, you're navigating, so you're looking forward. Hiram, you're just kind of enjoying the scenery. Slate, you're have you ascended to the crow's nest with your fascination for said crow's nest?
I think that Slate would be spending the majority of this first part of their first journey on the seas being violently ill.
Okay, yeah, fair enough. In which case, as you're kind of doubled over the side, and you've been asked to very politely do it off the back of the ship.
It was just all over, and it's like hoping that it washes off the front.
So every so often you just hear from behind you. You. It's like you as you kind of lift your head up and just kind of wipe some of the spittle from the corners of your lips. Off in the distance, you see some shapes on the horizon. And as you peer, it's other ships. There's another ship in the distance.
How do ships make friends, everyone? Is this a friend thing? There's some ships back there. Is there like flags that you raise or anything, or masts to say like hello? I don't know how this works.
It's okay. Well, normally someone looks through a telescope in the stories I've read, but most of the times they find pirate flags, and I'm pretty sure we'd be the one raising the pirate flag. What can you see? What color the sails are?
Through my like very bleary eyes, I will like strain and squint to see.
As you strain and squint, Katya, you also turn to look, and you can make out the sails are they're white, and I think there's like a splash of purple on them. And then there's like a smaller purple sail above the main white one. And that's got some like yellow on it. And then as you're squinting, like off the distance haze parts, and you see, oh, there's 2 more ships. There's 3 ships in total.
Catcher turns back to the wheel like, Hiram!
Yes.
Can you go downstairs and get Zumbo? I think I need him to take wheel again.
Fine.
And Hiram, yeah, as you like, you bump into Zumbo as he and Badger are on their way up. So, yeah, as you all, there we go. So yeah, as you you find them kind of on the stairs, and Katya, Slate, you notice, oh no, there's 5, no, 6, no, oh, there's more ships.
Captain?
Yeah, what's going on?
There's sails on the horizon.
I guess he'll get out his spyglass and put it that way, and then go, oh, come on. That's it.
So yeah, as you put the broad ends to your good eye and pull out the narrow, you see that, I mean, they're absolutely not wrong. There appears to be a large flotilla of ships heading towards you. The ship that Slate has pointed out to you, the one at the spear point of this flotilla, the white sail with the purple banding, the purple sail with the gold decoration, the detailing, the sheer size of it. Zumbo, your blood runs cold as you realise that you are looking at the Dragon, Cormyr's royal command ship. That is the flagship of the Crown's flagship.
That we scuttled, right?
And Zumbo, it dawns on you that these ships are after you because they set sail from Suzail.
Ooh.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Do I?
So, go on, Neil.
I'd like to lean over to Zumbo and just say, what we're thinking here is, I mean, Captain? Captain? Do we say Captain on board this thing?
I'm like this, Slate. You can say whatever you like.
Okay, Captain. Do you want me to do? Are they good guys or bad guys? Are we saying yay or nay? Aye or nay?
I reckon they're technically the good guys, which for us is bad, right? So.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. What do you prefer? Do you think just a gentle, directional move away, or a tidal wave, or a whirlpool? What kind of thing are you feeling?
I guess someone would just like look at Slate. You're like, hang on, you can do tidal waves.
Yes, so.
Balthazar and I had to swim under each of those boats individually, and you can do tidal waves.
I can also do tidal wave.
You've got the best team on your hands.
We'll talk about this later.
You can't just create tidal waves at a port. That's just rude. But, and I also have not tried this before.
As you're having this argument, Raedra has walked up alongside you, Zumbo. She gently takes the telescope from your hands as you're kind of angrily kind of waving a fist at Slate, and like she kind of looks through the telescope and this thing doesn't work, she says.
Turn it round, obviously.
She looks to you and, do you take me for a fool? And she turns it round, puts a wide eye against her eye, and what the? She looks at you a bit concerned, and then you hear a curse kind of under her breath. She hands you back the telescope. Who let my dearest cousin know where we were?
I would probably guess it was you, since you just said dearest cousin. I don't actually know them very well, so...
I think...
Raedra gives you a look.
I think.
Hang on.
Actually, from
Slate turns around and just throws up over the side again.
also, Kieran's gonna shout, "It was Droll."
Don't go blaming my dog. I'm in charge of the bloody ship.
Raedra looks to you, Zumbo, and does this thing go any faster?
Could always put you in a dinghy. That might make it go faster.
So as that's happening, Balthazar, you're kind of looking over your shoulder because there seems to be a lot of commotion going on around the navigator's wheel, but you're still at the front of the ship. And as you just kind of, you're watching. As you turn back, you look up, and you hadn't noticed it before, but there appears to be like a storm brewing up ahead.
Of course.
Oh dear.
Oh, come on.
And you're
Storm ahead.
And Balthazar, as you shout that out, you look up and you notice that the storm clouds are kind of spreading, like laterally, at an impressive rate. Like they seem to be kind of spreading out. And as you peer a bit closer, it almost appears to be like in a line. No, not a line. In a ring.
Oh God!
So like magical?
Well, it's certainly not natural. You know that much for sure. And as this, you see these storm clouds just kind of curving around the sky in what appears to be this kind of miles wide ring. There's no other way to describe it. And as you notice this, Zumbo and the other more perceptives on the ship, you also notice that there is a ring. There's a ring of storm clouds beginning to encircle the area you're in.
Is that so? That's over us. The storm, is it?
It appears to be encircling you. Yes.
Okay.
Options, Captain?
Do I think we can go around the Cormyrian ships? We're small and fast, right?
So you're small and fast, but against a dreadnought galleon style ship that the Dragon is, like it's the flagship. That's got significantly more sails, which means a significantly higher top speed. So as it currently stands, that ship will eventually catch you on the open sea. However, they are tailing you, and this storm cloud appears to have now formed a very large ring, like a effectively kind of encircled you. And Balthazar, with your perception off in the distance, you can see that there's way off in the distance. You can see there is heavy rain falling from this ring of storms, with the occasional flicker of lightning through the clouds and a burst of lightning down to the water.
So we don't really have much option. We just keep ahead, and when they get close, we can maybe do something.
Tidal wave! Tidal wave! Tidal wave!
As
Or whirlpool.
Zumbo, as you look up, you have the second time in a very short space of time, this kind of lurching feeling in your stomach, exacerbated by the fact that as you carefully watch this ring of thunderclouds, you notice that it appears to be moving with you.
Yeah.
Huh.
And Badger, what are you doing? Badger and Hiram, what are you doing?
I think Badger's desperately casting Gust of Wind on our sails. Just faster.
Dan,
Yeah.
can I attempt a Dispel Magic?
What's the range on that bad boy, though?
120 feet.
Ooh.
Yeah, no, this is like hundreds of feet off in the distance.
Okay.
So, yeah, so as Badger's just kind of blowing into the back of the sails here, and what are you doing?
That was my exact same thing when I asked about the range on Dispel Magic. So never mind.
I gotcha. Yes, Slate.
I redirect flows to make Are we going with the waves or against the waves or what?
You're going with the wind. The water itself is. You're carving through it quite well. I mean, you could redirect the flow of water to go a bit faster to try and keep ahead of. Yeah, that's fine, absolutely fine.
I like that. Let's do it.
Okay,
I'm gonna
so
go.
as you.
And to the front and like.
Okay, so as you you kind of bump up against the ballista at the front of the ship, and as you kind of hold your hands out, the water begins to kind of flow backwards and kind of up behind the ship, almost to propel you forward, like you're on a watery conveyor belt. And like you all feel the kind of lurch from the combined magics, and yeah, you know this ring of storms seems to be kind of closing in on the ship, and you can hear the sound of the horrid weather kind of getting louder. Zumbo, at the back of the ship, you start to feel a bit nauseous, and as you kind of look around and you see, like, you turn to see what's happening, and when you look back, you see Betty, who's managed to get out of wherever you had her, and is just kind of looking at you. You hear it appears to be Betty talking in your head. There's a voice, and Betty's kind of holding eye contact with you. And it starts as a whisper. Break the cycle. Break the bond. Break the cycle. Sever the bond. Break the cycle. Sever the bond. Break the cycle. Sever the bond. And Slate, as you're kind of leaning over the front, you see a very large shadow under the water that emerges from the ring of storms and begins speeding towards the ship.
I will tell everyone immediately. I'll be like, I think this is a real thing.
As you
Sorry.
Well, as Slate, as you turn around and shout that, the Balthazar, you watch as this shape, its silhouette becomes clearer and clearer, and then suddenly this large green-brown mass emerges from the water, multiple tentacles rising out and flailing into the air, throwing seawater in all directions. And as it kind of looms out of the water with the aid of the magic that you've cast, the ship, for all intents and purposes, collides with the front of this beast. And Zumbo, as you, like, everyone is thrown forward. So let's give everyone here.
Balthazar goes, I regret everything! Oh god!
So, everyone give me a dexterity saving throw. Slate and Balthazar, you get advantage.
Oh my god.
Okay. So, everyone who rolled a 10 or lower is
wait,
not...
we need Hiram.
Yeah, you guys get a +3 to your saving throws.
Wait, what?
Raedra does not...
Yeah, I have aura because of my aura. I was a paladin.
So,
Oh my god!
It's a good aura to have. Like, my aura is just like, rude and negative. But I mean, yours is like
How far is yours?
+3.
10 feet.
10 feet, I think. So
might be just
it's not everyone. It is Katja, Emily, Brenna, and Katja.
Katja is up, so she's actually out of range.
Oh, so no, it's not Katja, but not for Raedra, for sure.
So, as this happens, the front of the ship hits what appears to be a giant greenish squid. The back of the ship rises out of the water from the impact. You hear the sound of wood snapping as the figurehead snaps as it makes contact. Raedra is...
What was our figurehead of?
Sorry again?
Oh. What was our figurehead of?
Balthazar.
The Starbucks logo.
Whatever was on the
It's
fortune's
fine.
claw.
We can all go back. We can all go back to episode 0 and listen to that description there.
Yeah, it's
And this is where the promotion comes in.
a flowing robed dwarven woman snaps off into the sea. Rager stumbles forward. Zumbo, you manage to catch yourself. Katya, you're actually kind of thrown over the side, and you land next to Hiram. You take 1 damage as you hit the ground next to Hiram. And
The figurehead is smashed. I want to just like scream out like, "Dad! No!"
Zumbo, as you kind of pull yourself up, your heart pounds in your chest as you look up, and you see a very familiar-looking octopusy face.
Oh wow!
And as Betty looks to you from the navigator's wheel, you hear, "Break the cycle, sever the bond." And the creature in front of you roars. Everyone. Roll me.
Just go straight to death.
Roll me initiative.
Initiative.
Holy
Oh,
moly.
we are fighting the Kraken again?
Yeah. Well, we didn't really fight it last time.
Joel's not on the
Ran
list.
away.
Yeah, I barely even began with that kind of stuff. So
Man, my rolls are not hot tonight.
yeah, that's probably the best initiative I've ever had.
About 18.
Okay. So, as we begin combat. So, first up at the top of the initiative order with... so just to run through. So, Katya with 18, Badger with 17, Zumbo 13, Slate and Balthazar 12, Drool 10, Raedra 9, Emily 6, Hiram and Renna 3. So, as the ship all but comes to a full stop, you see the 5 tentacles emerge from the water and just kind of wave menacingly around the ship. You notice that one of the tentacles kind of moves forward and appears to be kind of looming over, and it seems like it's going to try to wrap around the ship and damage, like break the ship, which will be bad news for you lot. But Zumbo, as you look around and panic for a moment, your eyes fall on the 4 ballistas that line the deck of the ship. One at the prow, one at the aft, one on the port, one on the starboard. You notice that there are barrels in front of the main mast that have ballista bolts in them. And you realise that these ballistae look functional. So, as a tentacle looms forward, and as it kind of looms down, Balthazar, a dark shadow appears over you, and as you...
Oh
no.
Oh no.
That's not a good
Ow.
start.
this tentacle
Spicy.
lands on you for 20 damage. And Balthazar, can I have a DC 16 strength save, please? Oh, that's a way to open a Kraken fight with a crit.
Let's go. Go for it.
Jeez.
Where are my saves?
Cracking
Is this
crit.
save? Yeah. Strength, no, ability check.
No, so you can click on the save DC 16 on in the chat.
Oh. Do I have anything? No, just normal. Normal. Okay. A 5.
Okay, so this tentacle kind of slams you to the ground, and as you as stars kind of fill your vision, the tentacle wraps round you and kind of lifts you off the prow of the ship, and everyone you watch as Balthazar is kind of lifted up and grappled.
Not me first, not me.
By the tentacle. Balthazar is about 10 foot in the air.
No.
So with that, Catcher, what do you do? Sorry, I should also say, as Balthazar's picked up, beg my pardon, you also hear that you feel the ship kind of get slammed from the port side, like the ship kind of rocks to the port, and it seems like something hit the hull of the ship under the water.
Amazing.
Yes, Katya, what do you do?
First things first, use my movement to stand up.
Mm-hmm.
She places a hand on Hiram's back. And... kill this thing, will you?
Thank you.
And then Badger, she looks to you, and she's like, give it the old one too.
Will do.
And
Okay.
That is my turn.
No more movement because it's only half to stand up.
Is it only half to stand up?
Yep.
I think at the moment I shall stay put.
Okie dokie. So Hiram is hasted. Cool. Next up is Badger.
Badger will run. And she's gonna. I guess she's gonna start trying to flame this tentacle that's got Balthazar.
Okay.
See if she can get it to drop him. So let's maybe. I think she'd probably go for the flames rather than the quarterstaff. I think.
Okay.
I'm just gonna guess it doesn't like fire. So let's do an unarmed strike. It's a 22.
That is a hit.
8 fire damage. Second
Okay.
attack. Ooh,
Yep.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, go on.
Okay. Crit.
Oh.
Yes. 13 fire damage.
Okay.
Good.
So as you kind of run, jump, and with two hits with the two punches with the fire, the tentacle kind of flails and drops Balthazar back to the ground, and then it you hear a from the Kraken. It drops Balthazar, who takes 1 damage,
Yes.
and you land
Ow.
on your side.
Sorry.
Thank you.
That's fine. So she's probably going to use her bonus action to summon. No, she wouldn't actually. She's not very happy with him. I was in like she goes to summon Azarad almost automatically, and then goes no.
Awkward.
Yeah, awkward. Super awkward. Yeah, and so she's probably just gonna run probably over to the front where the Kraken guy is, like where we're jammed up against him. And is she that stupid? Maybe not. Is he within fiery fist range? Is he with?
Oh,
is
absolutely.
part of them within 10 feet?
Yeah.
She's
I
probably.
mean, he's on the ship basically.
Yeah. She's gonna give him a little fiery kick.
Okay.
With her bonus action. I mean, yeah, it's another crit.
Oh!
Let's catch 2 crits in a row.
Good city.
11
Yeah.
fire damage, and she
Okay.
yells, "Get off our ship!"
Okay. So
Naughty squid.
as you run up, you sort of like the creature, like this creature kind of looms up, and you see this circular mouth like emerge over the prow of the ship, and as you punch it on one of the teeth with such force, the tooth kind of shatters off and disappears into its gullet. The creature roars, and its maw begins to open. Anything else, Badger?
She'll probably just be like, oh no.
Zumbo, as you kind of stand looking with these kind of tentacles flailing about, Betty is still transfixed on you, and in a slightly kind of calmer, lighter voice, you hear, "Break the cycle, sever the bond." And like as Betty looks to you, you see what appears to be like one orange tentacle point towards the Kraken. And in your stomach, you feel this wave of revulsion that's different. Like something's wrong. It's not terror, it's just wrong. What do you do?
I think he's probably pretty overwhelmed with initially kind of the his spyglass will fall from his hands in just kind of shock, and he's just kind of standing there, and then he's going to kind of recover himself and seeing his friends in danger. What was I going to do? He'll, I guess, look at Betty and ask, "What do you want me to do? Are you with me or with that thing?"
The voice in your head says again, "Break the cycle, sever the bond."
Okay. And can I can feel something hitting the ship over here, can I, Vigil?
It's under the port side of the ship. But it seems to be under the water. Under the water surface.
Alright. So I'm going to yank Rager to her feet.
Yeah.
If that's okay. And, Your Majesty, do something useful. Hold the wheel steady.
She looks and... Is that a... and she grabs the wheel.
And then he's going to pluck Betty off the wheel and lob her into the water over here.
Okay.
Ooh.
So as Betty sploop lands in the water, she sees... Are you looking through her eyes?
Yeah, I'm going to attempt to connect with her.
Okay, so she sees another... So there are 5 tentacles above water. There are another 5 tentacles below the water coming from this kraken for 10 in total. And one of them appears to be kind of trying to punch a hole in the side of the hull underneath the water's edge, the water surface.
Okay.
So what does she do?
If she's willing to, I suppose,
Yeah.
she's gonna turn into a giant octopus.
Yeah.
And attempt to keep the tentacles off the underside of the ship. Or at least one of them. Whichever one's currently causing the issue.
Okay, so Betty expands as she hits the water, and she wraps around one of the tentacles. She, what? I mean, how do you do? Do you want to attack it, or do you want to grapple it, or?
I think she's probably just going to try and grapple it and keep it off the ship.
Okie dokie. So if you,
This is quickly becoming my favourite Harryhausen film.
Oh god. Giant oc. Oh no, we don't have a giant octopus. One moment, please. One moment, please. Octo.
Are you just imagining a big sort of almost claymation, like stop motion kraken?
Yeah, amazing. And then
Cool.
random people running through the background.
Yeah.
Right, we'll just overlap them like so. So as Betty grows into a giant octopus down below, is she gonna grapple it? Yeah.
Yeah, she's going to try to. Yep.
Cool. So that'll be a strength and then contested. That'll be athletics versus athletics. Beg your pardon. 4. Oh.
Ooh.
Okay.
Oh.
So Betty wraps around the giant tentacle, but is the tentacle kind of stops attacking the hole, but just kind of starts. You see Betty being thrashed around underwater, and there's a boom, boom, as she kind of banged against the hull of the ship. Anything else,
fine.
Zumbo?
Yeah, as he runs past Emily, he's kind of running towards Badger and Slate and Balthazar. As he runs past Emily, he's going to go, "Yeah, kid, how'd you like to use a really big crossbow? Get on one of those guns and get firing."
Amazing.
As you say that, Zumbo, Slate. Sorry, is there anything else, Zumbo?
If I can, I'll use my bonus action to summon a watery tentacle just behind.
Just behind there.
Just
Absolutely.
behind there.
Absolutely. Sploosh! Another
More
tentacle emerges from the deck.
Oh no! Oh god!
Because there's not enough tentacles in this situation.
Slate. The creature, as a tentacle kind of emerges from the deck behind you, it seems to just materialize from the ship. The more of this thing is beginning to open up.
I think Slate will probably have had full adrenaline kick in and is no longer freaking out as much about throwing up over the thing, is now like freaking out about trying to survive. So I imagine there's a little...
Just to jump in, is that an attack from the tentacle, by the way?
It is. Sorry, I should have done that. Yeah.
Sure. Okay. Cool. 12 damage. Right. So sorry, Slate. As you're re-energized, you watch as this tentacle whoosh, kind of slaps the front of the kraken. You feel more energized.
Mm-hmm. And quickly think about all the things I've been trying to prepare, because before we got on the boat, read into a little bit about the sea, having never been on it. Slate will cast, using the storm around us, I hope. We'll cast Call Lightning.
Oh.
Very good.
Yes.
Nice.
Do you want to cast at a higher spell level?
No.
Okay. So as you call lightning, does that let you create a?
It's a 60-foot radius. So I want to cast it. Well, I want to bring the cloud 60 foot towards us, I guess.
Yeah.
Is that right? Does that make sense?
So
if you're
it's a
outdoors in stormy
60
conditions, when you cast a spell, the spell gives you control over the existing storm instead of creating a new one. So actually, I don't need to create a 60-foot storm. I just need to use that storm to go pew, pew, pew.
Okay, cool. So you reach up, the storm
That's
ring
what damage
just
is
kind of coalesces in towards you, and if it's 60-foot radius, that is basically the entire map. You can call down lightning.
Sweet. There's a dexterity saving throw, it seems. Am I right? Or is that just...
Yeah.
That's correct, yep.
Yeah. Go on then, Kraken.
Kraken. Okay, so the
Ooh, it's
Kraken.
That's so cool.
But I think that Slate, having not seen the Kraken, will probably just call it Squidgy Gloop Scary Thing.
Okay, it takes.
Oh.
Okay, so it rolls a 20, and that 20, and the lightning strikes it and just seems to kind of disperse across the rubber.
Does take half damage, doesn't it?
Half as much,
Does
yeah. It's half as much. So that plus 1d10. And then, so it's half of that. So what's that? 20, 10.
So 10 damage. Okay, cool.
Pretty good.
So as you strike it with lightning, the creature rears back and its mouth begins to open. The teeth splay out and like the beak opens. As that happens, Balthazar, what do you do?
I shall stand up and I will cast Bless on Raedra, Emily, Hiram, and Zumbo.
Okay.
And myself.
So sorry, say again. That was
Raedra,
You just got blessed.
Emily, Hiram,
yeah.
Zumbo, Badger.
So Raedra, Emily,
So that's a third level spell slot I need. Okay.
Hiram, Badger.
Yeah.
And anyone else?
All the hitty people. No, say no.
Zumbo?
Zumbo, I think.
And
it
Zumbo
was.
as well,
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Balthazar, as you stand up and like the light emanates from your 5 companions.
Yeah. Zeus could really use help right now. Cast spell. I will bonus action Shillelagh and I will move next to the crossbow bolts.
Okay. Drool.
Oops, sorry. Go that way. Quite the congestion down at the front. There's not any targets really.
Why are the two draws in the map, by the way?
Yeah, there's another draw there, by the way.
Okay, cool.
Cool.
Draw, go for the giant crossbow. The ballista.
Just standing on his two paws, just pulling it back with his teeth, like. "Huh."
And just remember you're concentrating L as well.
Oh, yes. Okay.
And I must also put mine on, which I shall.
Actually, I think what Draw's going to do is he's going to leap over the banister and stairs. Oh,
Yeah.
there's a wall, so he
Donk,
and comes down for this lot, and I guess he'll ready an action. If anything gets within range, he'll attack it.
Okay.
Oh, shit.
So, anything else?
For now, he'll hold his action.
Okay, so Raedra on the prow of the ship, she's just kind of holding the wheel. She lets go of it for a moment, realizes that the ship's not particularly going anywhere because it's kind of being weighed down by a kraken, and she draws the great sword from the sheath on her back, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. She kind of steps to the front and kind of holds a position, kind of looking for an opening. Emily.
Emily is going to turn to Katja and say, Alchemist fire, please.
Ooh.
Oh,
I imagine Kat will happily give her all three.
oh, 3.
Okay. Okay.
Does that count as an action?
Taking them. You know what? We'll say that you get all 3. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Awesome. Then she's going to move next to Balthazar,
Yeah.
give him the Alchemist fire, point to the ballista and say, tie it to the front, please.
Oh, okay, sure. I'll do it.
Just one.
Okay, so Balthazar, yeah, on your next turn, you'll be able to attach a alchemist fire to the ballista bolt.
Gotcha.
Anything else, Emily?
Yes, I think it's a bonus action. Hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. She's gonna do helpful, which should be in the chat now.
Yeah. Who's she helping?
She's going to help Hiram.
Hiram. Okay, cool. In which case, Hiram, speedy Hiram, pain train Hiram.
Okay,
do?
Speedy Hiram. There's only one place he can go, and that is to the front. And I think the only place he can go is on top of the ballista.
Oh no.
Yeah.
As in, as close as he can, so he's basically straddling the ballista.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Ooh, that's
Hello.
that's a bit much.
That's
Basically, the
lovely.
lightning.
That's lovely. I love
It looks
that.
super cool, but yeah.
Okay, is that where the lightning is? Yeah.
Is that me?
Yeah. Yeah, was that the cool lightning?
I didn't see it go on. Sorry.
Yeah, actually,
I was
good
like,
question. Elle, where is the core of the lightning? Like, where are we counting the 5 feet from?
Behind the Kraken. It's not like where it could damage
Also-
us. That's what I'm kind of
Okay. In which
hoping.
case, I think it's time for Hiram to take a couple of shots
Okay.
with his sword. You know what I mean.
The pain train.
Okay. A gentle spectre for you.
We've got double pain trained here. Haste plus bless.
Right.
Let's go.
Oh god, yeah.
Let's attack. Go.
First one. 24.
Yes.
With
That's a hit.
15 plus a smite.
Yeah.
Well, not even smite.
So
Oh.
That's
19.
only 19, but still. Then
Okay.
second one. Wow.
Oh, no, I didn't know.
Ah!
Okay,
I
so you
remember
you hit with the first one as you go to swing. Like the ship rocks and you lose your footing for a second.
Okay. And the third one.
Is it hit?
22. With 13 plus a smite. I have
Yeah.
I can do 2. It's fine. Okay, that's better. So that's 21 in
Yeah.
total.
21. Okay. So yeah, you swing the first time, you lose your footing on the second one, but then you kind of swing at one of the tentacles that kind of goes to swat you, and you kind of pat it back into the sea.
You do have a bonus action.
And I do still have a bonus action, at which point I am going to go cast Branding Smite.
Oh wow.
Okay, so that for your next turn, yeah?
That's for my next turn, yes.
Okay. In which case, as you wail into the Kraken, the moon elf at the back, oh, she says, is this normal? She says, as she frantically casts mage armor on herself to give her a sense of protection. As that happens, Hiram, you've put some attacks in. Badger, you've thrown some punches in. The creature, the Kraken, its jaw opens, its beak parts, and you see this kind of cavernous tunnel, this fleshy tunnel, as it opens its mouth fully wide, large enough to easily devour any of you. And it's large enough that you can see into it.
Oh my god.
Oh god.
Ew.
And as that happens, you see what appears to be this serpentine shape wiggling around from the back of its throat.
Oh no.
Ah.
Oh, okay.
Oh no.
I don't like
And
it.
whatever this thing in its mouth is surges forward.
Tongue?
Oh,
I don't like it.
unsubscribe.
Yeah, I agree.
Holy moly.
Surges forward and
60-foot cone as well.
No,
Oh.
that's just nasty.
What?
uh,
No way. What the hell? 80. Jesus.
this tongue thing flies towards you in Hiram as you peer up at it. What appears to be the tongue then opens up its own mouth and acid spews out and coats the ship.
What is this alien bullshit?
So, everyone,
We're gonna need a bigger boat.
everyone, give me everyone click on your tokens and then roll your dexterity save. If you're within 10 feet of Hiram, you get +3 for what it's worth.
Can I use my reaction to absorb elements, please?
You
Where
can it absorb acid?
Yep.
We get those of us who are blessed can add an extra D4, can't we?
And those of you who are blessed with D4, yeah.
Where's Hiram at the moment?
Oh
He's
wow.
right
is
at the
he?
front. Right
Okay,
at the
so I'm in within, so I get a what is it?
front. So you get a +3.
Nice.
So going through, we
Plus
have
three.
so Zombo, you pass with a 22. Hiram, you fail with a 12. Badger, you pass with a
no.
25. Balthazar passes.
18.
No, fails. Beg your pardon.
18?
Draw fails with a 9. Slate fails with a 9.
With a 12, but it still fails.
Beg your pardon.
I passed and I add a d4 to my... I'm not blessed. Shit, I fail.
Okay, so Raidra.
Oh.
Raidra crit fails.
Fails.
Oh no.
Emily. So those of you towards the back. Okay, so that's a fail. I think that's everyone. Oh, Renna.
Oh god. This is painful.
Mm-hmm.
We get any blessed value out of this? Not really. Nothing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So
actually thinking.
those of you who failed, you take
Oh no.
36 acid damage.
Okay, reduced to 18 for me.
Uh-huh.
Ouch, indeed.
Ouch.
Oh boy.
So I don't think Emily actually has 52 hit points anymore because that was from an aid. I believe she only has
Yeah.
a base 40.
Yep.
Okay, so she takes a 36.
Holy
So
moly.
you hear a squeak from Emily. You hear a grunt from Raedra. Renna failed. Did Renna fail?
Yeah,
Renna failed.
Renna failed, yeah.
Yeah, she got an 8. Yeah.
Renna failed. Cool. Has everyone
Okay.
else taken their damage?
How much do we
Yeah.
take if we pass? Is it half?
Half of what? 36 or 18.
Yeah, no worries.
Badger's not going to take anything because she passed her
Dodge.
dex save and has evasion.
Okay. Cool.
Slate and I need to make concentration checks on our spells.
Yes. Yeah. So if you failed, it's DC. So Slate, you took 36 damage, so that's a DC 18 check for your cool lightning. And Balthazar, you took 18 damage, so DC 10.
That's right. Yeah.
It's got a roll of D20, right?
It's a con save.
Oh, okay, cool. That makes sense.
And you've got advantage. You've got
Is that a
inspiration,
saving
I
throw?
believe.
I
It's a
forget.
saving throw, yeah. Okay, so as you make those rolls, this tongue thing, kind of like you see tentacles come out of its mouth, wiggle around a bit, and then it kind of retreats back into the Kraken's mouth. And Zumbo, you hear a pained sound in your head say, "Break the cycle, sever the bond." And as you look at this tongue-like thing, that feeling of revulsion, that feeling of something alien, that feeling of something that does not belong, you recognize it in this tongue. So, top of turn. Another tentacle surges forward. So, Bless stays up.
Yeah.
Betty is grappling with that tentacle, so that's fine. Betty notices that another tentacle has begun attacking the ship. You notice it lurching from the starboard side under the water. As another tentacle kind of looms forward to get you.
Oh, no.
This tentacle will swings for the closest, which unfortunately is Zumbo. 12 to hit.
Not this time.
Okay, so as this tentacle reaches over, it swings to you, misses, but the sockers kind of stick to the hull, and you see it begin to start trying to pull some of the wood planks up. Cool. Katia, what do you do?
Well, that was a hard hit that I nearly didn't survive.
Oh boy.
Yep. I'm down to 11 and Draw's down to 12.
Oodie.
Yep.
Trying to think, yeah, I've got that level there. Right, so let's have a quick look at everyone. Yep, everyone's fucked. Everyone's fucked. Yep. Let's see. Yep, everyone's fucked. Let's see. 1, 2, 3. Badger's 5, 4. 5, 6. So I'm just counting. Give me a second. 1, 2.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, we're all looking. Somebody's looking alright. Otherwise, we're looking a bit toasty.
Yeah, we're looking a little worse for wears. It is a 4th level, so. Lahore!
Oh no!
Oh.
Okay.
I do
So-
want to see that come on.
As you go to sing your healing word, you struggle through the pain of the acid that coats your skin.
Well, that 7 lovely hit points goes towards Slate, Hiram, Balthazar, Emily, and I guess Rule, which else? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I guess myself, because Zumba seems to be okay.
Okie dokie. So just giving everyone a health bar. Slate, with that Constitution save, unfortunately, as you point blank take this acid breath to the face, the storm dissipates. Luckily, the whole storm goes, including the ring that you initially kind of wrested control of. So at least you don't have to worry about that anymore.
Is that a good thing or a bad thing, though? I thought the ring was kind of like it was going with us, and it was kind of like our cool storm ring.
It swings and roundabouts. Anything else, Katya?
I've used a spell, so I can't do another spell unless it's a cantrip, right?
Correct.
There's not much else that I can do, so let's try, probably going to fail miserably, a quick Mind Slither against the Kraken.
Yeah, against the Kraken?
But should I do a Mind Slither?
That's what you can do.
No, I want to do a Vicious Mockery, not a Mind Slither, sorry.
Nice.
On the Kraken?
Actually, yeah, let's do the tongue. The tongue.
Okay. In a very odd turn of events, you viciously mock this creature's tongue.
You son of a bitch!
And the tongue passes.
Oh.
Okay.
How does the tongue have that much? What?
It's very odd, isn't it? Isn't it, Slate?
there.
It's a very good question, Slate. Anything else, Katya?
That'll be all.
Badger, there appears to be a sentient tongue in the mouth of this beast.
Yeah, there does. Right, so Badger's going to dance back a little bit. So she's within...
Way,
she's
not today.
Still within 30 feet of it. Can she use her bonus action first?
Yeah.
Okay, so she's going to use her bonus action to cast Water Whip. So... Oh, hang on, where have I put it? Oh, there. Oh, sorry, I've just done it twice. You can get rid of one of those. So, she summons a long rubbery whip made of water to hopefully catch the tongue. And I need it to make a
dex save.
It looks like a dex save.
Okay. Oh, it fails.
It fails. So I'm going to use that to do. I'm going to use 2 key points. I was planning already to do that. I promise I'm not cheating. But yeah, it was 2 key points to do 2d10 damage to it.
Okay.
So hang on. That's 5 plus another 5, so 10 points of bludgeoning damage to it, and I'm going to pull it. Sort of. I guess I can't really pull it there. Just a little bit out of the mouth, like 10 foot odd out.
Yeah.
And then I'm going to.
Top of Hiram.
Is it on Hiram?
Oh,
It's
shit.
fine. It's fine. I can take it.
I need to make a con save, don't I? I need to make a thingy save. Some
concentration. Yeah.
And for my action, I'm going to make the tendrils of my tattoo grapple it. So I might have to get a little bit closer, but I think my tattoos will work at that range, won't it?
Yeah.
It's so within 15 feet. So I'm going to attempt to grapple it. So I need a strength save from it now.
Okay. So as you water
I water whip it closer to me.
Yeah. Yep. So you wrap around it with the water whip and you pull this tongue out. The Kraken, as its tongue is, something's attached to the back of its throat.
Yeah.
You then, like, as you bring your arm up, the tattoo on your arm dims, but then like just a mote of light, like a faint mote of light appears by the tongue and.
Okay. I try to catch it, and it manages to get away from me.
Kind of overpowers the mote of light.
Okay.
And as you look, you kind of think, oh, that, like, it was Azarad that used to do that. But now it's, Anything else, Badger?
No, because I've used it all. So I'm just going to go trapped.
Okay. Zumbo.
Yeah, I think seeing what Badger's trying to do, my own watery tentacle is going to try and grab the tongue as well.
Okay.
So 14 to hit.
That's a miss. So your tentacle swings for it, and the tongue kind of flips out the way and just avoids the tentacle. It was close though.
15. Okay. So I'll run to there and. Oh no one's manning this ballista, are they? Right.
Hey.
Balthazar's sort of.
And then
Oh, it's
looking
Balthazar.
at it.
Definitely.
You can delay your action, and I'll tie something to it.
Emily's running that one.
Okay. All right. Well, I can. That's fine. I can go the other way because I was there, so I can move through Emily.
Yeah.
5, 10, 15, 20. So I can get to there and swing this ballista around.
Yeah.
And
You can move.
take aim at this tongue
Yeah.
and let it have
And
a.
before we
Oh.
do that, if I open you up, if you have a look in your features, in your character sheet somewhere,
Oh.
or maybe it's inventory. Yeah, in your inventory, you have a ballista bolt dexterity.
Oh, cool.
So I do. Great. So just roll that.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay, so Badger, as you kind of pull the tongue taut, Zumbo, you run up and aim it and pull the lever, and there's a as a ballista bolt flies out
Wow.
and it strikes the side of the tongue.
Arr.
Nice.
Oh.
Woo.
24 damage. Okay, and the tongue, like the bolt, kind of grazes across the top, but you see kind of a blackish purple blood splurt out as the bolt flies off into flies past, like through the tongue and flies off into the distance.
Hold her steady, Badger. I'm going to hit her again.
The ballista, the ballista itself is still shaking, and you realise that it's now not got a bolt loaded. The bolts are in the barrels
Oh no.
by the mast.
Okay.
Anything
Yeah.
else, Zumbo?
No, it's my bonus action. So I'll just. I've got 5 feet of movement left, so I'll go grab another bolt.
Okay, cool. Slate. There is a tongue above you.
There is indeed. So I'm kind of thinking, what am I feeling today?
Ballista bolt.
Yeah, ballista in the mouth.
Ballista the
Yeah. I feel like Slate has no idea about at all ballista stuff. This is like completely way beyond. I mean, standing on a boat is probably the best we're doing so far. So, what I'd like to do instead is bang my staff on the ground and push out, emit an Agnazar's Scorcher towards the tongue, or actually where the tongue and the Kraken meet.
So, looking into the mouth of this beast, it appears that this tongue actually goes down its throat. Disappears down the back of its throat.
All right, I want to cut the tongue off somehow with this Scorcher. Let's try that.
Okay. Yeah, so the tongue itself is. It looks very much as it does in front of you. It's got. The tongue has a mouth. There are tentacles coming out of the mouth. Thankfully, there are no mouths on the end of the tentacles coming out the mouth. Tongue coming out the mouth.
Grand.
Nice action.
I'm doing it at a level 3. Yeah, third level. So
Just an aside, if you do it there, you'll have disadvantage because you're adjacent to it. So you could step back and get.
yeah, I
take
want
an
to step
opportunity.
back.
Okay. So if you move yourself as you
I will.
step away.
Just excuse past Badger, thank you.
As you go to step away, haha, I tricked you. The tentacles from the end of the tongue fly out at you for 17 to hit.
I don't think Slate would have had disadvantage because it's not an attack roll. It's a save on behalf of the.
On Agazanars, that's. Oh, sorry, beg my pardon. Cool.
Deceitful DM. Horrible DM.
Wait.
I'm thinking of the 3-bolt one, aren't I?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Anton.
Scorching
So-
ray.
Well done, Antoine.
Right. So as you cast that, the tongue
Bastard! Sorry.
Gosh darn it.
dodges out the way, and the flame of the jet of fire flies off into the distance. As
Takes
Badger
half as
struggles.
much. Right?
It does take half, yes.
Yeah, it takes half.
Ah.
And it's 3d8 plus 1d8 because I did it at a. So it's 21 divided by 2.
So
that's
10
what? 10.
damage.
Cool.
Cool.
Nice.
And the tongue, as it is charred ever so slightly. Anything else, Slate?
Yes.
Yeah?
But I don't know what yet. So
Okay.
You have a bonus action.
I do have a bonus action, and that's what I'm trying to think about right now.
Can't cast any more spells except the cantrip, and you probably don't have one of those.
I have cantrips. How dare you? I have so
Don't
many
have one.
cantrips.
You have no bonus action cantrips unless you have Shillelagh.
Yeah, I have Shillelagh, but I'm actually not going to use that. I'd rather take this time to have some deep reflection and turn into. No, there's no immunities there. 1 second. Nope, no, not there either. Hold on.
Can you
hold
be
on.
a sea creature by this level? You could turn
Yeah.
into like a plesiosaur or something like that and jump into the water.
I think starfish would be a great option.
The thing is, I don't actually see any options there. I'm going to have to look that up. Can I ready a bonus action?
Seeing the creatures because you have to see them to become them. So, as you
Yeah.
said, you've never been on the sea before, so
That's
this is
true,
your
that's
first sea
true.
creature.
Yeah.
But no.
I've seen an
seen
octopus.
I mean,
Seen a giant octopus, yeah.
they've seen giant octopuses. That's all I'm going to say.
You've been in a fishmonger's. You might have seen a swordfish. Like
Can
a
I-
large
can I-
swordfish.
Am I allowed to turn into a giant octopus? I don't have
Yeah.
any. I don't have any sea creatures on my list of my allowed
Giant
stuff.
octopus is CR1. Yeah, do you want to turn into a giant octopus?
Well, I don't know what it looks like, or feels like, or is like. It's not on there. Wait a second.
Right.
Okay, we're going wild shape. Boom! Slate is a
Whoa.
giant octopus.
Hey.
That is
Hey!
scary.
Woohoo!
Way too many tentacles here.
There's far too many tentacles in this encounter.
We have more tentacles on our side than the Kraken does. That's the
Hiram,
thing.
you are you are in a tentacly hell. You are in there somewhere. There you are.
It actually reminds me. I would like to know if the haze drops off of me or not.
I
'Cause
need,
that's gonna make a difference of how I feel about this.
I need to make a con save, don't I?
Oh no!
Yeah.
Yes. Have you made the con save?
I have not yet because we haven't come back to it yet. I was waiting until Draw's turn.
Yeah, I want
okay.
to know if this is like a calamari situation, if it's like a hentai awfulness situation.
Yep, there's no more haste.
Yeah,
There's
I
no
think
more.
you have your answer.
yeah, I do.
No!
You're stunned, right? Or
stunned.
We're
I am.
exhausted.
Exhausted. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think it's exhausted. It's another status.
Yeah, you just can't move, basically, I think.
Yep.
Or-
What is it?
It's
I can't.
you
I
get
can't do
penalties.
anything for one turn. I can't move. Can't do actions. Can't do anything.
Okay.
Just
So
sit there and go,
so Slate has transformed into a giant octopus, and I think that's it. So Balthazar, what do you do?
I will help Emily up
Yeah.
with a healing word.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Second level. Yes. Roll healing word. Second level. Cast consume. That up. for 12.
Lovely.
I'll pop that on her.
And
Sounds
I would
good,
like
man.
to either use mending or shillelagh to attach the alchemist bottles to the ballista bolt.
Yeah, that's absolutely fine.
One or the other. I don't know. Either create some vines to attach it, or like mend it so that something like that.
Okay. Sounds good.
That will be all me turns.
Okay. Draw.
I want to stretch a little bit of logic here, if that's okay.
Uh-huh. Are you going to fire Drawl out of a ballista?
And I want Draw to basically headbutt the switch of the ballista and fire it into the tongue.
Which one?
the one right at the front.
Okay. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Droll just licks his chops, charges past the tentacle, slams into like the.
So before
I have
you
enough
do
movement to step away.
right, if you look in Drool's inventory, there is a Ballista Bolt Strength ability.
Oh my god.
What?
So
Boom! Oh no!
So Hiram, you watch as Drool kind of runs in behind you as the ball. I assume you're using the ball, right? The extra oomph.
Sure. If that's a possibility. If I
am-
have I hit?
You won't have to use it, but as you watch as Drool kind of shoulder barges, leg barges, do they have shoulders? Hip barges into the blister. The blister mechanism loosens and the bolt fires kind of straight up through the tongue of the beast.
Nice.
Ooh.
I do want to
You've hit.
point out at this point, I am still on top of the fucking ballista, so that
Yeah.
just goes between my legs.
Yeah. In fact, I'm gonna go one better. So Drool, if you roll the damage, and Hiram, if I can have a save.
Oh,
Oh, nice.
Oh
You should have still said anything, then, should you?
17.
Cool. You're fine as the thing shakes as Drool rams into it. You manage to keep your footing, but the tongue takes 29 damage as this bolt skewers up through it.
Nice.
And
And
anything
Droll
else,
just like
Drool?
Droll waddles back and just gives off a the hut.
Okay, Raedra looks around at the end of Drool's turn. She is going to. So Emily is going to fire that crossbow, right?
Yep.
Okay, so Raedra's going to use her command ally ability. So she turns to Emily and fire that crossbow, that ballista. She says. Allowing Emily to make a weapon attack as a reaction with advantage. So we need to give.
First time Raedra is useful.
We need to give Emily the ballista bolt ability
Thank you.
with
What?
advantage.
How did you not give it to her? You gave it to Drool and not Emily. That's unforgivable.
So yes, if you make an attack roll with advantage.
Will do. While I'm doing this, did Balthazar actually do what she asked and put the alchemist fire onto?
He did. He did.
Excellent.
It's wrapped around with vines.
Yeah.
Okay, with advantage. Please.
27.
27.
That is a hit. So if you roll the damage.
56
Woo!
fucking
Wait,
piercing
what?
damage.
What?
Oh my god!
77578787. Wow.
So
There's
Holy
Emily.
Guys,
Nice.
I am changing
Emily
my
gets
character.
Emily gets behind this ballista, and it's just like her crossbow, but bigger. And using Balthazar to guide it, she aims and wait, and then she pulls the lever. The arrow flies out. The whole ballista shakes, and this thing goes into the mouth of the tongue and exits like halfway down its down the shaft of it and flies off into the distance. And the tongue flails and writhes in a painful manner. So that's 64 damage in total. And the tongue is now flapping loosely. So that was Raedra's legendary. So now it's Raedra's turn. She's going to. Well, you know what? She's just going to Commander-in-Chief this. So she looks to you, Emily, nods. Actually, Raedra is going to run over, grab a bolt, and kind of load it into the blister. Emily, what do you do?
Emily is going to nod at her and then aim and fire.
Okay, you won't get advantage on this second attack.
That's fine, I think. That one hit was enough for one moving for me. 24!
Fucking
That's-
hell.
That's it.
Don't
That's
hit
it.
that! Don't that hit!
That's it.
That's 34 damage.
Okay.
Amazing.
And
What?
as you see this tongue kind of flapping at the rip, like limply at the rip, Emily aims again and fires another bolt in it. Kind of takes the front off the tongue, and you can just see sort of like teeth and flapping tentacles from inside this tongue's gullet. Hiram.
It's prone.
Oh, of course, yes. So, Renna takes the dodge action and hides. The tongue flaps around wildly. First of all, it does not recharge its acid breath. So instead, it
eats the closest 4 creatures.
it looks at Hiram.
No.
How does a tongue look at anything?
And the tentacles splay out of the frayed tongue end for 28 to hit.
It definitely hits.
You take 17 bludgeoning. And 6 psychic. If I could have a DC 16 strength save, please.
Okay.
D4.
Do you have?
Plus D4 plus your plus 3. You are fine.
Wait.
Okay.
You're fine.
Dan, my tentacle's going to swat some of the tongue's tendrils out of the way if possible.
Oh, okay.
So reduce the damage by 2.
Okay.
Thank you.
So
21 damage in total, right?
Right. So, the tentacles that emerge from the end of the tongue try to wrap round you, and horrifyingly pull you into the tongue's mouth. But you manage to kind of muscle your way out, and the tongue kind of flips away wildly again. You hear at the top of turn, you hear a loud crash, and the ship lurches, and it seems that the ship has been damaged. Under the prow of, under the water. There's another crash from the other side as this one. So this one is still glommed on. Another tentacle kind of reaches over the back of the ship, and attempts to try to pull at the sail, the rearmost sail of the ship. And that one will do its damage to the ship. So it does 26, because it does double damage to the ship, and then it backs away. That one's out of range of anyone. Cool. Katya. The front of the ship is coated in this thick purplish blood. As this tongue sprays blood in all directions.
So grabbing the ballistas, what action is that? A full action?
It's an action to fire the ballista. Yeah.
To grab the bolts.
Oh, that's an action as well. So.
Is that an action? Okay, fine. I don't think that's gonna help then. So let's see how far this goes. Here to 60 feet. How far is 60 feet? That's enough feet. And by feet I mean tentacles. I guess, dripping with acid, in a lot of pain. I think she's just going to, her eyes are going to white over. She's just going to look at the creature. And absolutely, psychically explode at it.
Okay.
Nice.
So. $24.
God. No.
Still takes half.
So it takes half of 23 damage, which is
11.
That's much. Okay. So you reach into the creature's mind, and there's this. You get this kind of feeling of intense hunger and primal rage, as it thrashes about, almost like a panicking beast, if you will. Anything else, Katya?
Yes, she's also going to look over. Excuse me. Look over at Emily, and she's like, "Get this fucker."
Okay. Badger. In front of you, this tongue is now hanging loosely at the tear, halfway down its shaft. It's twitching erratically. What do you do?
Does it seem like there are plenty of other people who can reload the ballistas right now, or would it be helpful for Badger to do it?
So it looks like Raedra has handed out a bolt to Emily. Balthazar's nearby. Zumbo's stood with a bolt in his hand.
Oh, okay. So yeah, because it's just that these bolts seem to be the best thing we can do right now. But if there are other people ready to reload, then actually no. I think Badger's going to be a team player. She's going to run over, grab a bolt, run back, and reload.
As you go.
Yes.
The tongue's...
Oh, it's got a 10-foot reach, has it? That's nice of it.
The tongue swings out at you for 21 to hit.
That is a hit.
It hits you for 23 bludgeoning and 13 psychic.
Wow. Okay.
And then can I have a DC 16 strength save?
It rolled really high on those attacks.
So that's a fail.
Oh.
God.
So.
And do you have inspiration? Can you potentially reroll that?
I have got inspiration, but it's not gonna. A D8's not gonna do it, is it?
That's true.
Yeah.
So.
You got D8 plus D4.
Oh, that's true. I've got So my D4 would have made it a 7. So might be worth using my bardic. So
Plus
I'm going to
3
do that.
from being near Hiram.
Oh yeah. Plus another
10.
3, so 10. So it is worth using my bardic in that case. Let's try.
You need a 6 or more. Oh, okay.
Hang on. How much have you failed by?
I failed by 3.
3.
Maybe.
How far is the range? 60 feet?
Yeah, you're within
Cutting
60.
Wait.
1d8.
But.
Okay.
We tried, guys. We tried.
It's okay. That's fine. Okay, so what is... So just tell me how much damage I'm taking.
So, you take 36 damage, bludgeoning a psychic. The tentacles wrap round Badger. They lift her off the ground. And you watch as the tentacles retract towards the tongue and Badger disappears into the creature's maw.
Oh, okay.
You are blinded. You are restrained. You have total cover against attacks and other effects outside. And at the start of its turn, you will take acid damage. So, Zombo, you watch as Badger disappears inside the tongue.
So is the tongue gone completely, or is it just the...
I could have bonus action disengaged.
The tongue of the tongue.
Yeah.
I thought I was far enough away from it that I wouldn't take an attack of opportunity. Never mind.
Zombo, what do you do? You can see Badger squirming around inside.
Okay. I guess I'm going to drop the bolt onto the deck and start pegging it towards the Kraken. And when I get to basically sort of dodging past or through the larger folks, I'll have to probably bonus action dash to get there. But can I jump into its mouth?
Oh.
You can.
So basically, I don't want to go too deep in. I just want to try and cut Badger out, and then I don't want to get swallowed.
So, Zumbo, you... So what, we'll do this. So, Badger, you're kind of inside this thing. Everyone watches as Zumbo runs to the front of the ship, leaps into the Kraken's maw.
Wow.
And, as an aside, Zumbo, that sounds quite inspired.
Yeah.
You gain inspiration.
Very
What,
good.
for being stupid? Great.
Yeah.
That's how it works. That's
Okay.
great.
Hectic.
Works.
Make your attack, Zumbo Marifat.
Yeah, give him a booming blade. Let's see what we can do. I do have bless, if that helps. So, 14.
That's not going to hit. So you've got inspiration.
Yeah, okay, I will use that definitely. Oh come on!
Oh man.
Aww.
You've got inspiration. Okay.
Yeah, I think that's in it.
Zumbo, you disappear. Into the Kraken's mouth. And anything else?
Hang on, Badger, I'm coming. I think.
Any attacks with a tentacle?
Sadly, I've used my bonus action.
Okay. Slate giant octopus.
I would also like to go into the mouth. However, what I'd like to do is also, and yes, this might be a little bit far-fetched, so you can tell me not to go on. I'd like to tie up the rest of the tongue.
Fire a ballista.
You want to tie up the tongue? Yeah.
I want to use all my many 8 tentacles to tie up the tongue, really tight at the close to the maw, wherever the tongue is starting to do its thing, wherever it becomes less of a kraken and more of a sentient tongue.
Yeah. Okay. Roll an attack.
This is,
Cool.
this is just all kinds of wrong.
Can I just check? I haven't got inspiration on my giant octopus sheet, but I did have inspiration before. Is that correct?
I believe so.
Okay, cool. Right. Okay. What am I rolling? I'm rolling attack.
Yeah. So roll your tentacles attack.
1 second. There we go.
Come on.
That's a hit.
Yes.
Roll
Okay.
for damage. Okay. So, Slate the octopus, as you watch Badger get swallowed by this thing's tongue, and then you watch Zumbo jump in after it. Tell me, how do you do this?
Well, from the sides of the kraken where I'm at, I imagine it would be like a weird slithery, like crawls in like very floopily,
Yeah.
and then gets to wherever the bit of where I can see a badger-shaped bit of the tongue is, and then underneath that, get it, roll a bit of it underneath, and try and push the badger back out of the tongue.
Okay.
Tying it up in a knot.
There's
Yes,
also
exactly, like toothpaste from a tube, but with a knot in it.
There's also a Zumbo floating around in the back of this creature's gullet.
I mean, have I got any chance of grabbing a Zumbo?
Absolutely. You tell me.
I'm also gonna grab. I mean, I've got eight tentacles. I can do things. I'm a multitasker.
Okay, so in which case, yes, like as you reach in, you kind of wrap round the tongue with some of your tentacles. You squeeze, you fold it over, pull it in a knot, and then with a hoof, like a big heave, Badger kind of flies out like she's been fired out of a tube. As you see Zumbo kind of on the back of this creature as he gets knocked back, and as he's about to disappear down the throat of the Kraken, you manage to reach out with a tentacle and grab him and pull him out.
Slingshot right out as well. So there's two halflings. Oh, no, wait, no, one halfling, one gnome flying out of a.
So as Badger kind of skitters across the deck and Zumbo bounces off Balthazar. As you pull yourself back, you with the knot in the tongue, you manage to rip the tongue in half, and as the bottom half of it flails and crashes, Zumbo, you notice that the Kraken's eyes suddenly seem to focus. It kind of retches and sort of compresses, pushing almost its mouth out, like its throat as forward as far as it can, presenting this creature. It retches, and you see this slimy tentacle kind of being forced up its throat. And as this creature kind of flaps around in its mouth, you watch as the Kraken closes its mouth and blood flies in all directions as it eats this thing that was clinging to the insides of its throat. As you see the creature, what's left of the creature kind of writhing about, the tentacles from its mouth are trying to grab for you, Slate, trying to just kind of sliding off your rubbery hide. And as there's a few more crunches, you watch as the tongue stops moving.
Nice.
We've
still got a Kraken to deal with, right?
The Kraken. The creature slides off the front of the ship, lowers into the water, so its eyes are just above the water's surface. And Zumbo, in your head, you hear, "The bond is severed." And then we'll go to a 10-minute break.
Very good.
Is that good though?
I don't know. We'll find out, I guess.
See you in 10.
Patty's gone.
Hello, Catcher Donahue here. If you'd like the Ballad of the Warhounds on CD and MP3, consider subscribing. As for whatever a CD or an MP3 is, I don't know, it sounds like some kind of wizard stuff. Bye!
Welcome back, everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
So, that was a thing, wasn't it? We rejoin the Warhounds as you slowly, those of you who are on your backs, slowly pick yourselves up. You all have a fine sheen of purple amethyst blood coating you that congeals and mixes with the various slimes that coat the deck. There's a pungent, rotten smell as the acid from the whatever that creature was inside the Kraken slowly chews away at some of the wood around you.
Uncomfortable.
And yes, as Balthazar kind of does his best to wipe it off his joints. Zumbo, as you stand up, you can see this looming head staring at you from the prow of the ship. The ship has come to a full stop, thanks to the creature's vast size. But it's also, you notice, like, its 10 tentacles have just kind of returned to its side, and it just sits kind of almost watching you. And as you sit there, you see a small little orange shape just kind of swim up onto what's left of the figurehead of the ship. And in your head, Zumbo, you hear, "The cycle is broken. The bond is severed. All that remains is us."
I guess that he'll do a quick sort of head count just to make sure everybody's made it out okay. And then seeing that we're okay.
You have to double take because there's 2 orange squids on the deck. One small one, one large one. But you notice that the larger one is just kind of sitting somewhat contently, waving.
They're
what appears to
splashing in
be-
the water.
with one tentacle waving what appears to be the front half of the tongue that was in the Kraken's mouth.
Oh.
Okay. Well, I guess he'll warily step towards the front and look this Kraken in the eye. Look at Betty first, and then look over her at the Kraken. And seems to me we're even. You took my leg and my eye. Don't forget about the eye. And we helped you out with your problem. So, what say we just call it quits, yeah?
You notice that as you're kind of who are you looking at, Betty or the Kraken?
Probably the Kraken, as I say that.
Okay, so you notice that as the Kraken studies you, as it moves, you notice that its movements are being perfectly mirrored by Betty. Like her arms, her tentacles are just kind of moving around lazily as if she's in water.
This one finds the agreement amenable insect.
Good? Yeah.
This one would question, however. Why did it take this insect so long to return?
Well, I don't know if you've ever been eaten, but tends to put a chap off coming back to where they were eaten.
The Betty and the Kraken look at you with no kind of recognition or understanding in their bulbous eyes. And the Kraken looks to you and
Whilst this one does not understand your words, this one does understand losing autonomy. I would see those who infected this one punished. This insect will punish those who did this in this one's place.
Oh, and who infected you?
the Betty kind of crawls along the ballista arm, attaches a tentacle to your wrist, and then you see like you feel as if you've just kind of been pulled underwater, and as you open your eyes and look around, you notice you've effectively kind of gone into your Betty vision that you've gone into in other times before, except she seems to be in control, and it seems to be a memory of sorts. You see, you realize that you are the, like, you see this ship that's being crushed and pulled apart, and as the mast tilts and kind of falls past your vision, you see the flag of the ham and cross, the skull and ham bones, as it teeters past, and it dawns on you that you're watching the destruction of the bobbing apple. As your vision, you then kind of release the ship, you fall into the water, and you see tentacles kind of at the periphery of your vision, and it dawns on you that you're seeing through the eyes of the Kraken. You sense a movement in the water, and you turn, and you see what appears to be this amorphous red ooze floating in the water.
Oh.
And as you watch it curiously, the red ooze pulls itself together, turns to face, and then pounces. The next thing you know is an intense and unending hunger, as no matter how much you eat or devour, the hunger never fades, and as you can feel the parasite growing inside you. You let out a roar of irritation and anger as you try to wrap your tentacles round the tower and crush it. The tower at the bottom of the sea. The intruders in your domain. But you can't manage to... There's something stopping you. Almost like an impenetrable bubble. And as you peer through the windows of the tower, all you can see inside is darkness. You recognize the tower as the one from Renner's vision.
Well, all right. I mean, we planned to go there anyway, but well, have you left my ship in a sailable condition? How are we supposed to get there now?
You notice that the ship is listing ever so slightly. The ship is taking on water from... it feels like the ship is taking on water. The Kraken looks to you, Betty looks to you, and...
This one will transport you.
Oh, no, this one will not.
The Betty and the Kraken almost kind of lean to the side.
Your pursuers are nearly upon us, insect.
The Kraken almost shrugs.
It is in this one's interest to shepherd you all safely.
Just hypothetically, how was he planning to do that? And he's kind of just like this because he kind of knows the answer.
The rest of the Warhounds, as you hear Zumbo... So, the rest of the Warhounds, you're stood listening to one half of a conversation. It's just Zumbo talking every now and again. And when you hear him say how exactly you're planning on doing this and he's rubbing his head, you watch as this Kraken raises itself out of the water and...
Oh, come on.
opens its mouth wide.
That cannot be sanitary.
Hiram, you're somewhat surprised when, yes, as you say that, Rager steps forward and absolutely not. Are you insane? She says.
To whom?
And Zumbo, in your head, you hear,
Deliver this one of revenge, or suffer the wrath of the other insects.
He'll turn back to the rest of the crew then and say, right, short story, short version, squiggly ear, offering to take us down to the tower. Yeah, we're gonna have to hop in its mouth. As bad as it looks, I promise you, it's worse than it looks. done it. But the alternative is we can get hanged as traitors. So,
Right.
you know,
Right. Zombo,
yeah.
is this a bathtub situation? Is this like a very kind of aggressive mode of dealing with an issue that you have been grappling with? Is that what's going on here, or are you being 100% serious that that's what's going to happen? That he's going to take us down to more danger?
Well, thing is, as mad as it sounds, I reckon that we weren't going to escape them anyway. They're too fast, and now the ship's damaged. We haven't got a hope. So maybe it is our only option. I mean, I don't believe me here. I hate it more than you do.
Okay, you know what? Fuck it, and I'm gonna walk into his mouth.
There are
Early
many,
adopter
many
Hiram.
On seeing Hiram walk into its mouth, I think Slate will follow in still in octopus form. Like just like in.
Okay.
There are stories of people being ate by whales and turning up on the other side of the world, so can't be all that bad. Come on, Drool.
Drool does not look impressed. He does.
I feel like this is when like dogs like are like leaving the park and they're like looking around like, no, I'm not leaving.
Okay, Hiram has boarded.
Yep.
After you, Balthazar.
Yeah, can I stay on the outside,
I
please?
can't board Dan.
You want to stay on the outside?
Yeah, I don't want to go in.
Okay, let me ask. Here, my friend here, you don't really need to breathe. Do you mind just carrying him?
The Betty looks at Balthazar, looks to the Kraken. The Kraken.
This one cares not.
So Balthazar is more than happy for Balthazar to get carried by a tentacle.
Alright. Balthazar will then hop onto the Kraken and sort of sit on its head.
Balthazar, if this thing even looks like it's going to start chewing, you go nuclear, you right?
Okay.
With that hill walk in as well.
Okay. So just to check, Katya and Drool have jumped in as well, yeah?
Yes, I have, yes.
Okay. Badger, Zumbo.
Badger actually runs in the opposite direction and disappears downstairs, and then a few seconds later she comes back up holding her flowers and says, "Ready!" And she gets on.
Okay.
That is the most adorable.
Zumbo forgot to loot the chest as well.
Ooh.
Yeah, no time for that now.
No.
I mean, there might be.
No, he's more concerned about getting everyone else on.
Okay.
Just get this over with.
Okay. Slate, are you just swimming alongside the
I
Kraken?
was gonna go inside, but then I guess if I saw Balthazar standing on the outside, I'd go in and then like basically giant octopus splodge over everyone, and then go. I don't need to be in here, but only in my head. No one would hear that, and then just kind of like, and then kind of pop out, and then just like stick onto one of the sides near the Balti boy.
Okay. In which case, yeah, as Balthazar and Slate issue act as entourages, as Emily crosses the
Well, I like to think that Slade is
Mate.
acting as a harness for Balthazar. So we're like strapped into the Kraken going, alright, let's go!
as Emily crosses the prow of the ship, the figure, what's left of the figurehead, she stops at the maw of the Kraken, and she looks to you, Katya, and for some reason, this still manages to smell better than drool. And
Not even going to deny it.
Wow.
What a thing!
she walks in and like as the 1, 2, 3, 4 as the 8 of you, Raedra and Renna, do not look. Well, Raedra does not look pleased because it's not very often that you walk into the maw of a beast. Renna's just like, ooh, as she heads in. And as you kind of effectively stand on its tongue, like its actual tongue, your normal tongue, the mouth closes and darkness envelops you. It's replaced with this heat, this like stuffy, stinky heat. And you feel like your stomachs lurch as this creature just dives into the water. Balthazar, you're kind of pulled down like you've just gone over the edge of a roller coaster. And as the 8 of you inside just kind of hold on for dear life, it's keeping its head kind of at an appropriate angle to give you a floor to stand on as it just kind of descends. Balthazar, you can see, like, you've never had the opportunity to experience the deepest ocean dive that you'll probably ever experience.
I don't have dark vision, but I might have light on my staff, and therefore kind of act like an anglerfish. I guess we're going to try and see what we can attract.
Yeah, that sounds good. So, in which case, yeah, Balthazar, you're your watery world, and it looks beautifully serene and peaceful, apart from the bubbles that kind of emerging from the Kraken in various tubes and its maw and whatnot. And like you can see these kind of aqueous shapes just kind of moving about in the gloom around you, and like you can't hear anything except for the sounds of as you kind of sink further and further. And as you reach this almost like zen-like state, the light around you just dims and dims and dims until the only thing you can see is like 40 foot from your staff. You keep going.
What about with dark vision? Does it like...
With dark vision, you can see in like cheap, crappy, black and white 90s CCTV. So I don't know if giant octopuses have dark vision. They do.
They do.
So yeah, up to you can see 60 feet around you, and yeah, like the it's getting grainier and grainier as there's less and less light. Eventually, you see, like as you keep sinking, you see a shape begin to almost emerge from below you, and ahead of you, you notice what appears to be a stone tower jutting up from the bed of the sea. Attached to it is a secondary tower, and they all appear to be built on top of like some sort of hill island type affair, that's just kind of sitting on the bottom of the sea, tilting ever so slightly on an angle. Balthazar, as you kind of see this off in the distance, the Kraken begins to slow until it eventually comes to a halt and just kind of floats in front of this underwater tower.
Before we stop, I would like to reach one of my tentacles without Balthazar noticing and just tap him on like his right shoulder and then just move it away as he looks around.
Oh gosh, what was that? Oh.
Balthazar, as you get spooked,
protect me.
The Zumbo, as you lot finish your roller coaster ride inside the mouth of a Kraken, you hear a voice in your head say,
"We have arrived. The domain of the shadow."
And there's a soft bump, and you will kind of wobble a little bit. Balthazar, you watch as this Kraken effectively pushes its face against what appears to be this invisible field. It lifts its head back, and you watch as its beak, like, it's almost like it's hitting a glass window, and you watch as its beak pushes ever so slowly through what appears to be a magical force field. The beak opens, and you can see kind of magic struggling against the creature's mouth until eventually those of you inside, the Kraken's head squeezes in, It can't get very far, but as its beak opens and the beak almost serves as like a miniature off ramp, you see that there's a balcony ahead of you that appears to be pushing its beak towards.
There's like a little exit.
Yeah, and a seatbelt sign just going.
Yeah.
Please remain in your seat until the Kraken has stopped opening its beak.
Yes, yeah, pretty much. So this balcony you notice is at the top of this tower, and for want of a better word, you would look at it and call it a wizard's tower. That you've seen structures of similar build in, say, Suzail, but the architecture of this is alien in comparison to the towers you might see in somewhere like Suzail. Balthazar, from where you are, you even in the darkness, you notice it as Netherese. Like old, ancient Netherese architecture. And as the beak opens, the Kraken says to you, Zumbo,
"Make haste, insect. The barrier rebels this one."
You are going to come back and pick us up, right? I don't want to do your dirty work for you and then be left down here.
The Kraken doesn't respond.
Right, yeah, probably should have asked that before we got in. Yeah, got you. Okay.
As that happens, you also notice that Balthazar, your tentacle kind of wraps round to where its beak is, and fundamentally, you and Slate are forced through a gap in between the beak. And everyone inside, you just watch as Balthazar it's like forced through like a birthing hippo. As he's
man! What?
As his tentacle squeezes Balthazar through and plonks him on the balcony of this tower. And Balthazar, as you stand on the balcony and you look around, and you're a good sort of you're at the top of a tower. But although the area around you is damp and wet and mouldy and mildewy, inside this bubble, for all intents and purposes, there is no water. If you were to step off this balcony, you would plummet probably to your death.
Oh, hi again.
So there just seems to be very similar to your magic circle, but island-sized.
Gotcha. Everyone okay?
Well, so you say this. Has anyone come out of the mouth?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
All right, everybody.
We're
Let's
all
go.
out. We're out.
Okay. So as you all kind of jump off the end of the Kraken's beak onto the balcony, in front on this balcony there is. It looks like just an observation balcony. There's a set of rather elaborate black stained window doors in front of you, but there's also this chill in the air that hangs in the air. This far under the sea, there is no sun, there is no heat. The only thing that allows you to see right now is the light from Balthazar's staff and your dark visions. As you gather together on this balcony, the Kraken then pulls its tentacle back and pulls its beak back, and some water seeps through, but then what is effectively a force field, like a shield, covers back over, and you find yourselves in the bubble, and you can just see the shadow of the Kraken watching you.
Did Betty come through with us?
She did.
Okay.
How long was the journey? Was it like a short rest type stuff? Short rest in a mouth?
You would have enough time for a short rest. You can spend as if you had a short rest, yes.
I mean, I don't know if I'd necessarily have a short rest as but on the outside, like trying to hang. I feel like everyone else chilling out in the mouth, my own.
So as you stand there, like looking around this kind of island, Renna looks to you all, and this is it. This is the place, isn't it?
Looks like it, Renna.
Oh. And yeah, so you're all crammed on this balcony. The doors are in front of you. what do you do?
Zumbo? What are we gonna find here?
Don't really know Balthazar, to be honest, but yeah, I think we're stuck down here till we find whatever it is we're meant to be finding.
Okay.
What did that diadem look like again?
Crown? Dark?
Yeah, Balthazar describes it as being a circlet with a number of black studded gems, like obsidian-esque gems across the front, in a twisted black metal.
Well, that's what we're looking for, I guess.
Yes, Al.
Can I ask, with the doors, are they see-through doors or is that closed doors? Is there a hole where the door is? Is there any kind of peek-through bits?
So yeah, these are like black. So these are like full window doors, like glass doors, but they're opaque black glass, decorated, held in place by like a silvery iron-like filigree framing.
Okay, so no chance of looking through at all.
No chance of looking through. As you all just kind of pat yourselves down and kind of make yourselves ready, Renna steps forward and looks at this door curiously, and she places a hand on the door, and purple shapes begin to illuminate across the glass. And she looks a bit confused and looks a bit flustered. The runes, which those of you, does anyone speak Draconic?
No.
Okay. You notice that the runes on the door look Draconic, but none of you speak it, so that's pretty much just it. But as the runes fade, you hear a and the doors to the tower swing open. And Renna looks to you confused and, why was I able to do that? She says, and as she looks into the room with the rest of you, we will call it there.
Damn.
OMG.
My goodness.
That was too much.
So much.
Too much. Good, too much.
Yeah, very good, Dan. Thank you.
Yeah.
And everybody else.
Congratulations, everybody, on completing episode 25.
On getting eaten by Kraken, but not the way you thought it would happen.
Yeah. Now
The right way to get you.
Zumbo can't use that as a brag anymore.
Yeah, but I've still done it 3 times. Twice voluntarily.
So, yes, we have arrived at this mysterious underwater tower that we know to be of Netherese origin. So I guess next week we'll find out what lays inside. And potentially unearth the secrets within.
So a party, happiness, lots and lots of food.
Yeah. You've arrived at the hot tub party. Thank you all for playing. Thank you all for watching. And as always, I will see you all next week.
Very cool.
See you next
See you next
week.
week.
Take care, everybody.
Bye.
Yeah.
Bye.
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 The Warhounds have arrived at the location of the third vision, one glimpsed by them all. As they prepare to enter this mysterious Netherese tower, they can only wonder what lies in store for them. Come back next week to find out too. Thank you for your continued support. This has been a wild ride since the beginning for us all, and we're thankful that you can join us on the journey. If you liked the video, please hit the like button and comment down below. If you want to see more of the Warhounds in action, or the adventures of the poor Blue Dragon crew back in Marsember, you can find another video here. We're nearly at 100 subs, so please help us out by hitting the subscribe button here, as well as the bell icon for notifications of our uploads. With that said, as always, stay safe, and may the realms endure.